WCCO News starts now with breaking news.
Thanks for joining us for Mid-Morning. We're also streaming on CBS News Minnesota. I'm AJ Hilton.
And I'm Heather Brown. Protests continue this morning. This after a woman was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis, and it is getting contentious this morning with chemical irritants being sprayed at protesters. Some brawls taking place between the protesters and ICE agents. This is just outside the Whipple Building. This is video we've seen from the last 45 minutes here. We know at least some people were taken away in handcuffs. Protesters had started gathering here around 7 o'clock this morning. This is video of those folks in handcuffs. Now, the 37-year-old woman who was killed here in this altercation yesterday morning, the shooting, was Renee Good. She's a U.S. citizen and Minneapolis resident. Our Barrett Leone joining us live this morning. She is just outside that Federal Whipple Building, seeing those ICE agents clash with those protesters. Barrett?
Yeah, it's been quite the morning, Heather, AJ. A lot going on. This crowd, at one point, hundreds of people. It's diminished a bit. And as you can see behind me, there are still folks, though, despite the fact that it's diminished, holding their ground against this really line of federal agents. We're seeing, gosh, it's hard to put a number on, but 100+ agents out here holding this line against these folks here outside the Whipple Building. It's been an ebb and flow of emotions. Tensions are high at times. Right now, it's kind of calm, but we have really seen a lot. We've seen physical altercations right now, more just yelling back and forth. But earlier, we did see multiple people carted away in handcuffs. I think we have some video of that to show you. I counted at least 4 people being pulled away in handcuffs, rather, and that was after some sort of physical altercation. We're not sure what led up to that, but along with those seemingly arrests, a lot of situations of chemical irritant being deployed into the crowd, along with tear gas at one point. Excuse me, I apologize if you're hearing any expletives, because this is okay, and we did, I don't know if you heard that, but folks calling for no violence, for things to remain peaceful. We haven't seen that all morning, but there have been peaceful moments throughout the morning here. I'm going to step in front of the camera again. Folks yelling on megaphones, people calling for accountability, ICE's accountability. They're calling for ICE to leave the state. And I believe folks here are on Whipple Watch. That's what I heard it referred to. And I think they're seeing, this week they were trying to see if agents were leaving and get a gauge on what was their happenings, where they were going to.
To that point, I got a question for you, because we see Border Patrol that's out there. Have you seen local authorities, either the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office out there, or have you seen the Minneapolis Police Department out there, or St. Paul Police out there?
No, we have not seen any local law enforcement this morning. We have solely seen federal officials, just federal officials. And the insignia here is Border Patrol. I have seen ICE insignia as well, but just federal officials at this point. Haven't seen anybody from local cities.
And a reminder that, Barrett, you are over near Fort Snelling, right near MSP Airport.
Yep.
And the Whipple Building is a federal building. In fact, it's a building where just regular federal employees go to work to each day. There are several entrances where the protesters were this morning, trying to block some of the ICE agents, some of the Border Patrol agents from leaving that parking lot there this morning. Is that how I'm understanding it?
That's exactly right, Heather. We've been here since 4:30 this morning. It started out with a really small crowd. It started with singing and a sense of unity, and then that crowd really grew to hundreds of people, and they divided into what I understand 3 separate groups with a mission to bog up traffic at each exit outside of the Whipple Building, because they believed that marshals were coming out of the Whipple Building, and they wanted to deter them from what they were trying to do, their mission. And right now, for the last hour and a half. This crowd has been pushed back and back and back. This line remains, but at one point we're closer to the exit over there. We've seen more and more agents, marshals come out this morning of the building, and it wasn't always this massive group of federal agents. It's really just grown, but the crowd of protesters has really diminished within the last hour. We're not seeing that huge massive crowd blocking off 3 exits like we were earlier. It's quieted down significantly.
You mentioned before that the crowd has for the most part remained peaceful, which is the good news, but you also mentioned that chemical irritant that had been dispersed. Why would they need that chemical irritant if things have been peaceful?
It hasn't always. There's been pushing, things of that nature. It's hard because there's so much going on. I haven't seen each instance happen and what led up to that with my own eyes, so it's hard for me to comment on what exactly led up to it. But I know that multiple deployments of chemical irritant of gas were thrown into the crowd, and multiple people were taken away in handcuffs as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, we're working to learn some of those details about what led up to those moments and to those arrests is what it looked like. But it has not always been peaceful. There's been contentious moments, but majority of the time it has not been physical, but there have been spurts of those moments.
All right, Barrett, she's been in the middle of that too, clearly breathing in some of that chemical irritant. Barrett, thank you so much for being with us.
I think I lost you
this morning. We know, Barrett said several people have already left that area. Could be for their own safety. Could be they decided to go somewhere else, back to 34th and Portland. There's a lot of events that are happening today, a lot of vigils, a lot of protests that are scheduled there. Let's get out to Frankie McLister. He is also at that federal building, the Whipple building. Frankie, what are you seeing right now?
Yeah, hey there, guys. So we're on the other side of the big crowd that you've been seeing Barrett speak with us all morning long. I'm going to show you this perspective with our photojournalist, Arthur Phillips. We do have an individual that is just kind of giving us a little bit of a hard time. So what we're going to do is move away from them and actually move a bit closer to the agents. Let's do that. Just a few more steps. There we go. Let's go ahead and look over there. This is the whole line that you can see of agents. As Barrett also mentioned, I want to reiterate, a lot of them don't necessarily say ICE on them. They have a lot of badges that say U.S. Border Patrol. We are seeing some in uniform that just simply say Department of Homeland Security. You can even see one of the agents over there that doesn't even have a mask on. And as we know, a lot of these agents have been masked. There's obviously a lot of cameras. You can probably maybe answer that for yourself, why that is. We were over in the parking lot. Art, I'm sorry, I'm going to have you do a little spin real quick. That's the park and ride to give you your perspective. Behind the park and ride is Fort Snelling, MSP International Airport. I'm sorry about that if you just saw that live TV right there. And the airport right there backs up to this area. When DHS Secretary Kristi Noem speaks here to us reporters, a lot of times her press conferences are right smack dab in the federal Henry Whipple building right there, which is the federal immigration court. But guys, what I'm going to do is just toss it back to you because we are getting a little taunted. So if we could just move out of the scene and let's just debrief and talk about, give the viewers a different perspective from another side.
Okay, our Frankie McLister reporting from the Whipple building. Yeah, Frankie, please make sure that you and Art, you guys stay safe. We appreciate that update.
We know emotions are running high out there, so we'll continue. We'll check back in with them in just a bit, make sure they're okay out there. This morning, some clashes between protesters and ICE agents. This was video taken earlier this morning outside of the federal building, the Whipple building. This is over near Fort Snelling. Let's go to our Frankie McLister there now where things are heating up. And we just want to warn you, you may be hearing some foul language out there.
That's a good point, and I'm going to do my best to kind of also look what's going on behind me, because this dynamic situation just keeps being more and more fluid. I'm going to step out of the frame here because what's happening right now is a counter protester showed up. Just about 30 seconds ago, there was an individual on the ground that seemed to have been pushed over. A lot of the folks who have been here all morning long are asking him to leave. He is highly against that. He came walking in with an American flag. We're going to just back up a little here due to some bad language here, but he came walking in with an American flag. He's begging people on his side to come out here as well. But now agents are getting a little closer because they are trying to protect everybody, as it appears to my knowledge, from making this a worse and worse situation. I'm going to step out right again so we can kind of show you him. You have a line of the agents who we've said that most of them appear to be agents of all different sectors, some of them U.S. Border Patrol, some of them with uniforms that just say the Department of Homeland Security, and then some ICE as well. So you have that line. Then in the middle, I would say, is that counter-protester you're seeing right now. But next to that counter-protester is that woman right there that's been trying to peacefully cooperate with him the whole time. I'm not sure who she is, who she represents, or if she's just taking the lead. As you see right now, we're walking into the park and ride. That is where a lot of these people have parked, but it seems like he is leaving at this time. So if you're unfamiliar with this area, he's walking towards kind of MSP International Airport. This is Fort Snelling, and we're going to keep you posted to see if he ends up coming back to the crowd or not. But that's, guys, how quickly the situation out here is changing. Sometimes it'll be quiet and peaceful, and then sometimes it'll just get really tense.
For the most part, things staying peaceful right now. Frankie McClister, we appreciate that update. Frankie, thank you. Now, we do want to show you video of one of the protesters getting taken away this morning. One of several people we saw being taken into custody by agents this morning.
Our Bear Leone has been there since very early this morning and has seen these things change over time. Barrett, what are you seeing right now?
Yeah, it's really quite a different scene than we witnessed, an hour or so ago. There's really quite a small crowd and a whole lot of agents. So, I mean, it's hard to put a number on it, but Joel, Cam, and I were talking potentially 250, 300 federal agents here holding this line. As for the crowd, we're guessing less than 100 at this point. But I also want to point out there's a whole lot of media presence. So multiple, different news sources here reporting on what's happening as well. But it's quiet. For the most part, people are yelling their message to these federal agents, and they've been doing that throughout the morning, really. But we have just seen an ebb and flow of emotions, at times really tense, and at times more quiet, like we're seeing right now. Obviously, you can see some of these folks are just standing and doing a sort of standoff with these federal agents, and some are, letting them know what's on their mind. And all of these people, these protesters that I've connected with this morning, they're calling for ICE accountability for the death of Renee Good. They're calling for ICE to leave this city and the state, and they're wanting to see some action. I do want to say, at one point, hundreds of people, and they were blocking off the entrances to the federal building, which we've seen agents upon agents come out of to form this line here. That group has really dispersed, and it's less than 100 people at this point. And again, it is calm. It wasn't always that way. We saw tear gas, some physical altercations, as well as a few people taken away in handcuffs.
All right. Many fewer people there right now. It seems like more agents than protesters at this point. All right, Barrett, thank you.